Monday, October 27th, 2025. Good to see you, my friend, on a Monday more afternoon.
Yeah, man. Monday at the Chasing Dirt Show. Woohoo!
Big
Crazy, man.
announcement. I think we've been talking, you and I have been doing mentorship. So this is goes out. First of all, last Friday was great. That guy, Ryan, was great. I think if you didn't
Yeah.
catch the episode, rewatch the episode from last Friday. I think there's something there. We can talk about that. But what I'm excited about is we are expanding our coaching and mentorship program. 3 buckets. What are those 3 buckets? We got what? Less than $1 million.
Less than $1 million.
If you're a contract cleaner, less than $1 million. A contract cleaner between 1 and 3, and then a contract cleaner that's above 3 million. And you're looking for the best damn deal in the industry.
You got it.
J&J.
That's right, man. You gotta check it out. We got classes starting, or I don't know. We call them sessions or
live sessions.
And the under $1 million is like $49 a month.
$49 a month, one live session a month, and we're basically going to have an hour and a half that we're just going to basically ask us as many questions as you can.
Yeah. And we're limiting it. We're going to do multiple groups, but we're limiting it so the groups aren't too big, so that everybody gets time to talk and converse. And what I love about it is it's just like sitting down with a group of 4, 5, 6, 7 people and talking shop for about an hour and a half once a month and just learning. I think that's where the best learning comes from, is when you're talking to other people who are like-minded in the like scenario that you are in your business, and being able to just have a wow moment of, man, I got to do that. Or I'm glad I talked with somebody today, like, so glad I'm not the only one facing this, and just like with all the furloughs and people not getting paid right now, there's a lot of people out there stressing. And so this is a great opportunity for you, no matter what level you're at of those 3. We've got $49, $99, and $149 for those. So yeah, let's get signed up for them. We're starting as quick as possible. We've had so many people reaching out to ask about what can I do or where can I get connected. And Jack, I saw a Facebook post yesterday on one of the Facebook groups, and I linked them to that, to our website, to be able to sign up for that. So we'd like to see some people come through that too as well. So
yeah, no, it's gonna be called the Start Pro. We got 3 brackets: Start, Build, Grow. So the Grow is 3 million above. Build is 1 to 3, and probably what we're going to really put a lot of effort on is the Start. That's the less than $1 million. And again, you're getting Jerry and I for a full hour once a month. I think we're looking to do these things on Friday morning after our Chasing Dirt show. So I'll drop into the show notes the link that you can look up to sign up. But I think what we're looking to do is Jerry and I will take the questions that if you can't make it, first of all, hopefully you can make it. You ask your question. Second of all, if you miss it, we're going to put these into the replay in the community, the route community. So you'll see a replay there with notes. So this knowledge that we'll start to gain from these questions will also roll into some training seminars and training sessions we can do with you as well. So I think as Jerry and I go along, and Jerry, correct me if I'm wrong, we hear a lot of the same questions again and again. And what we've been doing is really putting together training modules around those questions that just keep reoccurring again and again. So we'll provide you the answer, but we'll also give you some support documentations, point you in the right direction. My hope as well is we will also be pulling in special guests to sit with us every once a month, that subject matter experts. So we'll just bring maybe an equipment guy in 1 month. We'll bring a guy that's a CRM software guy 1 month. We'll just start bringing these specialists in, because there's just so many aspects of the business that you've got to kind of build around. And I think that's what we're looking to do.
And you might be thinking, well, what is it? How's that different than anything else we've done? Well, we kind of have, we're kind of learning as we go that there's different iterations of how we help people. And I think we're finding, Jack, that people under $1 million, there's not a lot out there for them to be specifically communicating about what they're dealing with. And then there's that group between $1 million and 3 that are, they kind of, we got there because of some good luck. Yep. And now how do we get to the next level? How do we get bigger clients? What does that look like? And then when we get over 3 million, now how do we put more repeatable processes in place to grow and to scale our business to that next level? And, how do we do that? Through things like, capital and a great staff and the right people in the right places. And so there's all kinds of ideas and avenues that we're learning that we can bring Route into a better relationship with those type companies to be able to help them specifically to where they are. So I'm not sitting under $1 million and listening to a guy is at 3 million, 3.5 million, or 5 million. He's got different problems that I got. And so we want to be as specific as we can. So we're trying to drill down hard into that to help everybody out. So check it out, go on, sign up. We got people signing up already. We got some groups starting. So yeah, we'd love to get you, plugged in. You can sign up right away, and we'll get going. As soon as we get enough for the first group, and then the second groups. All those things will start happening quickly. So
yeah, you also get a side benefit. The Cleaning and Rant. I do a live video blog once a week, or I record it, but you get that as well. But there's some feedback along here. But I'll put the show notes in the show notes. I'll put the payment link on it. But really, I think the way Jerry and I look at this is going to be the guide on the side. There's a lot of mistakes that Jerry's made, a lot of mistakes I've made, a lot of mistakes we hear of others making. And if we can help you avoid even one mistake during that call, you just pay for it. And also tax write-off, tax deductible. Check your accountant for that. Make sure all good.
Yeah. Well, speaking of cleaning rants, Jack, I got one today.
Let's hear it.
So you know me, and most people in the industry that know me know I want to see everybody win in the industry. But I also, the secondary step is I want to see us bring more professionalism to the industry. And I just meeting with people, over the last couple of weeks, and I'm a little bit disheartened at how little value business owners are bringing to themselves and to their organization by not maintaining some semblance of professionalism about running their business. In other words, I feel like they're acting more like a cleaner than they are a business owner. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're under $1 million, I was under $1 million. I worked in the office from 8 to 4:30, and at 5 o'clock, I was changed clothes and I was out cleaning buildings. So, but during that 8 to 4:30 time, I put on my professional hat, my professional clothes, and I ran the organization. And so one of the things I said something to Jack about that. And so I just wanted to share on today's show with you guys, just 3 things that you can jot down and do to elevate yourself in the industry and in your community, to not be seen as, the guy in a van down by the river who sleeps down there and does this whole thing and comes and cleans your building at night. But in a professional way, you present yourself well. And so I wrote down 3 things, Jack, if you'll oblige me, and I'll run through them real quick.
Let's hear them.
Yeah, the first thing would be, running your operations through systems and processes, not your memory. Write it down, get it in paper, make it a repeatable process, and have everybody on your team understand what they are. Consistency, it builds trust with your clients, but it also builds trust with your employees. So, example, if I tell my employee this is the way I want them to clean the bathroom one day, and the next day I go in and I change it because I'm doing things by the seat of my pants, well, that's not consistency, and I'm not building trust, because now I'm going in and saying, well, this is the way you do it. Well, you told me this way yesterday. So just some kind of consistency by putting things into a repeatable process or systems into place. Having those standard operating procedures, what does that look like, right? Whether it's through scheduling, we talk about inspections, supply orders, even onboarding your customers or onboarding employees, whatever that communication looks like, be consistent with it. So, and even integrating at this point, some kind of software system for checklist, timekeeping. There's SWEP, there's Route, there's Job, there's all kinds of things you can use to help make your company better. So, and then the other thing that I would suggest is in the organization of your business is making sure that when you do these things, to know that the results are your business looks organized and dependable. not reactive to things. Because a lot of people, they just react to things. Now, don't get me wrong, you're going to react when you have to, but you need to look as organized as possible. And the second thing, in improving your own personal professionalism is improving your personal communication, right? Perception's everything. When people call and talk to you, answer the phone. Um, how to, I guess the best way to put it is your communication can shape how your clients and staff see your whole overall company, right? And I think, for my company, customers and employees, they were the number one things. They both got treated the same. And I taught my staff that. And listen, it was hard for an operations manager or supervisor to treat the employee like a customer sometimes, because they could get a little, out of hand, and you had to address it. So those are that's just, on that side of it, that kind of communication. Be professional in your text, be professional in your emails, follow up on incidents and report them well, and make sure they're documented well. And then even in your emails, you say this all the time, Jack, standardize your emails, put your company logo in there. If you have a Gmail account, don't do that. Get your company name in your account, make it look professional. And try to respond to your phone calls and texts within 30 minutes. It's just a rule that I put in place. And then the last thing, in my opinion, is lead like a CEO, not a cleaner. When I was cleaning at night, I still treated people great. I still was the leader of the company, the CEO of the company, but I spent a lot of time out cleaning. Probably my first 2.5, 3 years, we were out either doing floors or cleaning each night. It's exhausting, but you can't lose that professionalism. It's what matters, and during the day, dress like you're in leadership, right? I had multiple outfits, right? When I go to work, I might have my slacks and a polo on, or a vest or something with my company logo. And then at night, I put my jeans and my T-shirt on, a company T-shirt, go out and clean. So make sure that you do that. Block out some time for some strategic planning. We talk about this all the time, Jack. People don't prepare to lead, and you have to be prepared to do that. And then invest in leadership. Help, it's what we do. Get a business coach, get a coach, get somebody that can help you. That investment, and listen, coaching is huge right now. It's everywhere, but it's going to last a long, long time, because so many people need that. And get involved in associations, trade associations, BSCAI, route, whatever it is, something that can, that get you into some kind of mentor groups, like we've been talking about early on the show, and learn how to sharpen your decision-making skills and how you communicate. If you do that, and you sit around, I remember the first time I went to a national conference for BSCAI, I sat at a table with guys that were 40, 50 million. And one of them, I was like, this guy's sharp. I mean, and I listened to everything he said, and I took it to heart. And I'm thinking, and I went back, I started using phrases like he used. One of the big things is he spoke as we are an organization. It wasn't I or me. That we do this, we can do this, we'll handle this, or here's how we operate. And so that's my little bit of a rant today, because
you got something going on behind the scenes. I got to hear about that offline, but that's good.
No,
I think that first point.
Yeah, I
think that first point. I call it tribal knowledge. It's like you're sitting around a campfire and you're beating a drum. This is how we do business, and you're hoping the next person next to you remembers it. But as you know, there's interpretation. There's always loss of content over time. So. We joke. I think I did an article on the community newsletter. Like, leave your business for 3 days, and if you want to start with a priority list of where to, maybe start for a week, but you leave your company for a week and say, let's see what breaks down. Guess what? Wherever it starts to break down first, that's where you start your SOPs. You don't start with your SOPs on something that's
Yeah.
just guessing. You start with something that's breaking down when you're not there.
I was talking to a guy over the weekend, and he's in charge of a large organization with great leaders. They don't meet hardly at all.
Yeah.
And I challenged him. I said, what if you met? Number one, how do you know how your people are doing or how they're feeling? Or are you able to maximize your organization? What about having a meeting and seeing, checking in? What could you do? What adjustments could you make to make the organization better and improve on its overall sales and the bottom line? He was like, well, it's just, I have so many great people on my team. They just run the thing. And I feel like I'm in the way sometimes. I'm like, that's great, but you're still in charge.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't mean anything else other than go, what do you need, Jack, to be successful today? I guarantee they're going to give you a list of 2 or 3 things. And so it's my dad used to say this word, it's flabbergasting to me, Junior, that you don't ever do this, and so.
No, I think, if you get a good team too, or sometimes I think I've seen this and I think you've seen this, but some owners, they like to be that fire drill. They like to be the solution.
Yeah.
And they feel worth when there's a problem, people have to come to them. And quite honestly, that's actually a handicap if you really think about it. Now, you want those problems to come to you. There's certain numbers of programs or problems should come to you. But I know some people we've worked with or we've dealt with or we've talked to, that's their worth. They feel like that if their company's running well and everybody has to come through them, that's a good thing. It's not a good thing. So that's one thing. I think the second thing you just said is when you do get a good team around you and when your dreams become their dreams, but more importantly, their dreams for your company starts to shape the direction. I think that's even more beautiful. And if you can look at going, wow, I love what Pete or Sarah's dreams are as far as the direction of the company. That's a pivot. That's a great pivot point for the company.
I think I think when I was the happiest with my company was one year I took my family on a cruise. It was we saved for years to go on this cruise. We took our kids on a Disney cruise. And I remember saying, I'm going to get access to internet for one day so I could just check in.
Yeah.
And it was so nice. Midweek, I called, how's everything going? Hey, we got it. It's great. We'll see you when you get back. And when we came back, we did a review meeting of the week before just to catch me up. And every issue that was handled exactly like I would have handled it. And I was so appreciative. And I thought, this is great. And then when my operations manager said, I'm going to go on vacation, make sure that, and I told her, make sure you have these pieces in place so we don't bother you. We don't want to bother you. That's what vacation's about. And the same thing worked. And that's when I knew we're clicking on all cylinders here, because if you go out of town and you try to be on vacation, your phone's ringing 3 or 4 times a day, you don't have processes and procedures in place that can help you move your company forward. And you got to get that straight. So
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
No, I think that's something we pound on nonstop. So no, I like the rant. I think these are things we'll break down. These are the things, those companies below $1 million, hell, even those guys that are below 3 million still have the same issues. And I think it's
everybody has a ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're not reinventing the wheel. Everyone has pretty much, again, there's nuances with every business, but for the most part, the problems that we help solve, the problems that you've solved in the past, we can duplicate that. And why go through that? Why go through that aggravation and trying to figure it out when somebody's already been through it? So, no, I love it. So we had a rant today. We talked about our mentorship or coaching program we're going to be doing for the small, medium, large companies. We got Frank Trevisani.
We shouldn't call it a rant. I think that was just good stuff. Maybe
that's a rant. I think I might record this and put it into the rant. But we got Frank Trevisani with Spartan Chemical coming on Friday. He's the godfather. So what we're going to do with him is we are right now, Jerry, about to go live with Route Exchange. So we're putting a campaign out, hopefully this week, if everything goes well, to get contractors, subcontractors to sign up, claim their profile so we can start to match them with the prime contractors. But we're going to take a deep dive into Route Exchange, wasn't named Marketplace, but Route Exchange, and let Frank Trevisani kind of give his 50 years of experience of what he sees in this thing, and really trying to have him beat it up a little bit. So I'm looking forward to hearing Frank's unbiased, unfiltered opinions.
He will share. I know him at a distance, but he seems like an amazing guy. So
let me ask you this: last Friday, though, what do you think about Ryan? What he's kind of pulling together? I don't know. I'm fascinated by that whole incentivizing the whole team across the board and really looking at different metrics and how to do so.
So I'm fascinated by it. If you can get it to work, it's a no-brainer. It's a win-win. And so you really have it. Afterwards, I thought about a little bit. I thought, man, I wish I could have, got that to work at the lowest level.
Yeah.
And I feel like we'd have had more retention. And keep in mind, we got to understand too, some of our employees, they can't see the forest because of a tree, and we got to help them get that tree out of the way. But the ones who are interested in long-term development and growth and want to just do one job, they're the ones that you need to invest in. I say you invest in everybody across the board, because you never know, somebody might have an aha moment in the middle of it, or they're in the program like Ryan could develop for you, and they've got an extra bill that came in, and they're just like, I don't know how I'm going to make it, and their paycheck shows up, and they get a profit share or a attaboy share, and it covers that bill. That's the moment where the rubber hits the road, and that type of program. So I do think it's well worth it. I think there's a level in which you would put that together, and I think him and his team can help guide you to get there. So
yeah, no, I'm gonna find. We need to find somebody that we can test that with, because again, it's the proof's in the pudding of getting someone to actually do it. But he gave us a 50% discount code for the setup and all that good stuff. So no, it's just something there. I don't know if you've seen too. The guys from Bags have been doing phenomenal work. If you're on QuickBooks, those guys are showing some heavy numbers. I don't know if you've seen them on LinkedIn, but they're showing that the companies they're working with are seeing like 250% growth. Once they get their books set up, once they start to look at the KPIs that they should be. So there's just, I think all these solutions we're bringing to the table, we've got to get our arms around everything and really hopefully communicate the proper message. So, it's exciting times, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of the program we're going to do with the START coaching program and the build and the grow.
I think that'll go well. People need to sign up for it. I mean, just go today. Jack will put the link in the chat room there, and that's not where you're going to put it, is it? You'll
put it in the comments. Yeah, I'll throw it in the comments. But we're gonna be called the guide on the side. That's my favorite time. We're not the sage on the stage. We're the guide on the side.
Yeah,
I think Jerry, like, I don't know what you consider your worth as an employee or as a team member, but you're getting two. And then we get a special guest every week. You're going to get probably over a couple $300,000 worth of free labor once a month for an hour. So I think that's worth its weight in gold right there.
Yeah, I think it's well worth it, and because I think there's a lot of companies out there that they want to coach, but they look at the numbers and go, I can't make it. And so this is a great in for them to go, okay, let me just pay the $49 a month, hang into it for a year and listen and see what I learned. And then the next progression might be that you want to join our coaching program or whatever that looks like. We're going to help you get there the best we can. So we really want to help the industry move forward. So
yeah, cool. All right. Well, that wraps up Monday. I guess we'll see you on Friday. I'm sure we'll talk in the meantime. And sorry we were late. We had a little technical difficulties before we started. All me. So all good.
We're good. All right.
Be good, Jerry.
Soon. Chasing Dirt Show.